Hey, this is Adam of TechieNetworker.com. We are in Module 3 of WordPress 1.2.3, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to install Jetpack, which has this really awesome bundle of features as one plugin. It's really cool. So what I'm going to show you how to do here is first install Jetpack. So if you go to Plugins and Installed Plugins, you will likely see Jetpack already installed. If you don't see it, then make sure you go to Add New. Okay, and a lot of times it's right at the top here on the left, but if you don't see it there, just type in Jetpack and hit enter. And then you'll see Jetpack by WordPress right here. Okay? And if this button doesn't say installed, it should say install. So you want to install it. And then you will see it over here as one of your installed plugins. So you just want to activate it. And connect to WordPress.com. So it says your Jetpack is almost ready. You just want to connect it to WordPress.com. Now, in the prior video, we installed Akismet, which required you to create an account. As long as you did that, you'll be able to connect with that same account. If you haven't already installed Akismet, then you may have to create an account here. Otherwise, it's just going to have you approve that you want to connect this existing account. When you click on approve, now Jetpack will be installed, activated, and connected to WordPress.com. Okay? Now what's cool about Jetpack is it comes with all these features that just make a lot of sense. Like Photon, this is a free feature that you can just activate that's going to speed up the load time of your images. So I definitely recommend you activate this one. So you just click on activate. And there you go. So that one's now activated. You don't have to do any configuration with that. WordPress.com stats. You know, I was originally going to show you how to integrate Google Analytics with this in this module, but I'm going to actually wait until Module 4 for that because truthfully, the stats that Jetpack provides you with their functionality, their stats functionality is totally adequate. It's actually really good. And rather than complicate matters right now, it just makes sense for you to just start with their stats feature. Okay? So there's actually an option for you to configure this feature. There's really not anything you have to do here. Just so you understand what some of this means, though, where it says registered users, count the page views of registered users who are logged in. What they're saying here is if you were to check these, then in your stats, the views from you as an administrator would count. So you obviously don't want your views of your website to count in your stats because then they're not real accurately reflecting how many visitors you're getting to your site. So you want to leave these all unchecked. Yeah, and that's really all you don't need to do anything here. Okay, I just kind of wanted to show you what that was. Now, if we go down here, protect. This is what they call this is what this does is protect you from hackers who are, there's hackers out there that'll try and hack into your WordPress site through your login information, right? And they'll do what's called a brute force attack. This is something you can enable. Truthfully, I've never enabled this. I've never had my site hacked. The way to really protect yourself from something like that is to make sure that you use a really strong password. So I'll show you maybe later in this video how you can change your password. But one thing you definitely want to make sure you guys do is use a password that's strong. So use uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and a special character or two, just to ensure that your password is strong, and that'll prevent people from hacking your site. Okay? Sharing, if you click on configure here, this is actually really cool. So if you click on sharing, this top part here is called publicize. So what you can do is you can connect your different social accounts, and once you've done that, there's actually a feature when I get to showing you how to create your content, like to create your first blogs and stuff. When you publish your blogs, there'll be a little section there called Publicize that enables you to automatically publish that content out to your social networks. Now, I'm a little leery of using this too much because a lot of times when I'm sharing content, I don't just want to put the link on my profiles. I want to have like some introduction content to it. I want to be able to control kind of how it looks and all that. And actually with their publicize feature, there is a way for you to customize the actual text that goes with the link. That said, it's not as flexible as if you were going to do it yourself, right? And so I think it's a cool feature, and I will show you it at a later time. And all you need to do right now to be allowed to do this is connect your different accounts. So you would just, like when you, I'll just show you. So if I connect Facebook, it's going to let me connect my Facebook wall, my my Facebook pages. So in that sense, if I were to connect like my wall, then if I use their publicize feature, it would auto share my content out to my Facebook wall. If I wanted to publicize to my a specific Facebook page, I could choose the Facebook page. I'm actually not going to do this right now because this is actually Kristen's site, so we'll be connecting her accounts. And I just wanted to show you how this works. So once you did that, it would show as connected here. And actually it is, because I must have done that before. And to disconnect it, if you want to disconnect an account, you can just click on the X. One thing I will tell you guys too is, when it comes to, the way, integrating social media into your blog, I always say fewer is better, fewer accounts, because the truth is, you're probably not going to be engaging everywhere. And in fact, it's overwhelming if you're trying to be on every single social platform. So the way I like to advise my clients is think about where your audience is hanging out the most and where you're going to be engaging the most. Don't spread yourself too thin, and just integrate those platforms into your blog. So that might be 1 or 2, maybe 3, but no more than that, right? Because first of all, you want people to land on your blog and stay there anyways, and if you're giving them all these ways to get off of your platform, then you're taking them off of the real estate you own, and you're sending them to social networks where they can easily be distracted. So I never recommend integrating too many, okay? So, and then down here, these are where you can add the sharing buttons, okay? So this is going to be the buttons that appear with your content to enable your visitors to easily share them. And again, I would apply the same rules here. I think giving people a few options for sharing makes sense though, because this is how they're going to share your content, right? So, but be thinking in terms of where your audience is. So if you want to add like Facebook, Twitter, whatever of these you want to add, I mean, I'll let you use your own discretion here, right? Pinterest. Pocket is a cool new tool that I actually use a lot. It allows you to take your blog content that's online and put it in your Pocket, which now allows you to consume it offline. LinkedIn. Okay, so what you can do is, I'm going to, let's see. Yeah, this will be good. So what you can do down here is, here's what it's going to look like. So I've chosen the platforms that I want to be able to, my visitors to be able to share very easily. And right now the button style I've chosen is icon plus text, but you can choose this to icon only. You can choose this to official buttons. Now, one thing I will tell you about using official buttons is they might look kind of nicer. I mean, they pop a little more, but they also take longer to load. Okay, so it's up to you what you want to use. I kind of like the icon option, but this is something you could test and try out, right? You can always change it on the fly. All right, and the other thing is you can change where these show. So if you chose, generally the only place I show these options are on my posts. Okay, because when people come to my homepage, when they land on the homepage, I want them to opt in. So I'm focused on drawing their attention to my opt-in form, and I don't want to give them too many other options. When they're on my actual blog content, which is the post, I want them to be able to share that easily. Okay, so I want it on the post. So I'll show you how this looks. When you click Save Changes, okay, and then you go out to your blog. Okay, right now you'll see that there are no social sharing options under this blog post on my homepage. But if I click on Hello World, now as you can see at the top, I'm on the Hello World blog post, and you'll see all these sharing options now. See that? If I go back to the home page, though, they'll go away. Now, if I were to go back into Jetpack, so I'll go back to the dashboard, and I were to turn on the social sharing icons for the front page as well, then, so you got to go back to Jetpack, and then into sharing. And then scroll down, and if I change this, if I turn this on, then it'll be on the front page as well. If I also turn it on pages, I'll show you this now, just so you guys can see how this works. So if I click save now, and I have these icons showing on the front page, posts, and pages, now when I go to the blog, you're going to see that these icons show up here, which is the home page. They'll also show up on the blog post, but now if I bring up the About page, they're going to show up there as well. See that? So I actually don't want them to show up everywhere. I actually will, I think, keep them on my About page, but I'm going to take them off the front page and click on Save Changes. I don't want people's eyes, when they're searching for my brand, I don't want them to share a post as much as I want them to opt in, right? I want them to get on my list. And I'm going to be showing you that in a video that's coming up very shortly, how we're going to integrate an opt-in form so that your visitors can very easily get onto your list, okay? So the last thing that I want to show you guys, let me make sure, yeah, that's right. There's one other feature that I just think you should enable in Jetpack here. And that is, if you scroll down, there's actually two of them. Related posts, if you activate this, then on your blogs, they actually have a built-in feature that will identify related content to display under your blog posts. That'll keep people on your site longer, as if when they're viewing a specific piece of content and there's related content, and the links will be put right underneath it so they can link right to related content. Okay, so that's just a really awesome little plugin. You just activate it. There's some configuration you can do. I'll let you guys just play around in there. It's not really something I have to go into depth on. And the other one is monitor. This is pretty cool. If your site were to ever go offline, WordPress would notify you. So you activate this, and I think that's a good thing to have. All right, just to be kept on the alert if something were to happen to your site. Okay, so you just click on activate. And so if you were to click on configure here, this is where you could define the actual email. So it's just going to take that email that you've already entered, Kristen@travelinghappiness.com. If the site were to go down, Jetpack Monitor is actually pinging your site every 5 minutes to make sure it's up and running. And if a problem was found, if your site was down, it would send an email to this email address. All right? So that's all there is to it. These are the main plugins. We're really now through this piece of the training. Just all the basic plugins, the basic functionality that you all need to have is really what I wanted to have done in this module. Okay. Now in module 4, we'll go into more depth on really how you can supercharge your site and add some really cool features to make it to increase your conversions. And to really, just take your site to the next level. But at this point, you have all the plugins you need now to move forward, creating content. So what we're going to do in the next videos is first I'm going to show you how to integrate your email list service. All right. So I'm going to be introducing you to your options as far as the different email list marketing that you can use and how to integrate them with an opt-in form on your site. And then we're going to go into showing how to create your first content, which will include your About page and your first blog post. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, make sure you leave them in a comment below this video. I'll see you in the next one.